Meghan Markle made her first official engagement with Prince Harry look easy today as she won an army of new fans, including one who said within earshot, "She's beautiful. Only a prince can have a lady like that." The royal couple shared countless handshakes, high fives, hugs and took presents including bags of Haribo sweets, Harry's favourites, from crowds 5 deep chanting their names in Nottingham today. Meghan, 36, looked happy and relaxed throughout, chatting about their wedding at Windsor Castle next year and quitting the hit show Suits while thanking people for braving the cold to see us and making us feel so welcome. "I'm so happy," she said at one point, adding, "It's just such a thrill to be here. I can't believe it." During the walkabout this morning she introduced herself to people with a cheery, "Hi, I'm Meghan." Starstruck young footballer Arop Haight, 21, asked loudly, "Is that Prince Harry's wife?" as the couple approached at Nottingham Arts Centre and said, "She is beautiful. Only a prince can have a lady like that." The star, wearing a 585-pound coat and carrying a 455-pound handbag, kept resting her hand on Harry's back in a repeated loving and reassuring gesture and for long periods clutched his arm and held his hand. Prince Harry looked fit to burst with pride as he watched as his new fiancée worked the crowds. Mr. Arop Haight, 21, the captain of a football team for Champions for Change, a project which uses football to reach African communities in the Midlands to talk about HIV/AIDS, said the 36-year-old American actress was beautiful. If Mr. Arop Haight was more outspoken than most of the guests at the charity event, he did no more than reflect the mood at the Nottingham Arts Centre where the couple met a group of charities involved in HIV/AIDS, that Ms. Markle passed her royal initiation test with flying colours. Sandra Spence, centre manager for the Terence Higgins Trust, said, "They were very relaxed. They fed off each other, which is unusual in a couple but nice to see. It was refreshing to see two people who actually gelled, as opposed to two people who needed to be together." Her colleague Liz Waters, a health promotion specialist for MSM, Men Who Have Sex with Men, said, "They have a lovely glow about them." Chris O'Hanlon, who is a peer mentor for Positively UK, a charity which helps people newly diagnosed with HIV, talked to them about his own diagnosis and the importance of fitness in dealing with HIV. "I spoke to Meghan about my passion for yoga," said Mr. O'Hanlon, 40, a clinical hypnotherapist from Luton. "I said, 'You are a big yogi and love your yoga.' She said, 'Absolutely, I love incorporating it into my life, it is something I have always done.'" He said the couple were so natural together. "They are very personable. It is very easy to talk to them because they are so open. They have a very jokey attitude. You worry that you have to be. They seem amazingly comfortable together. You can see that it's a perfect match." This may have been her first official engagement, but she was a complete natural at it. She was incredibly observant about what we were talking about, and very interested. She picked up on quite a few things that I was saying, particularly in terms of my own diagnosis. She was very empathetic. Not only will she make a good addition to the royal family, she will make an excellent ambassador to any of the causes she puts her heart and her mind to. Ms. Markle also exhibited a key trait that will stand her in good stead as a member of the royal family: she clearly loves children. As she met Lorraine Dube, 29, a volunteer with the African Institute for Social Development, and her son Ezekiel Wong, 2, Ms. Markle tried valiantly to coax him out of his shyness, stroking his arm and chatting to him. "She is absolutely lovely," said Ms. Dube. "You can tell that she loves kids." Ezekiel was very shy. She was trying to get him to say something. In the end he said thank you as she walked off, which I thought was really cute. She said he was a cute little boy. As she left, she passed another small child in their mother's arms, reached out and said, "So sweet." As they walked round the room in Nottingham Contemporary, Ms. Markle stuck closely to Harry's side, but never appeared nervous or shy. While she regularly looked up at him, she was also not backward in coming forward with questions of her own, picking up on what people said to her. One of the people they met was Siobhan Lanigan, the chief executive of the food chain, a charity which gives nutritional advice to people with HIV. Ms. Lanigan twice met Diana, Princess of Wales, when she was chief fundraiser for London Lighthouse, an AIDS hospice. Inspired by the fact that the couple revealed this week how Harry proposed to Ms. Markle as they prepared roast chicken at home at Kensington Palace, Ms. Lanigan showed them a recipe for Ethiopian chicken taken from her charity's cookbook, Nourish. It was a point that did not escape Harry's fiancée. She said, "Oh yes, we mentioned the chicken," said Ms. Lanigan. She said, "We might try that." They took a copy of the book with them. She said she enjoyed spices in her food. As an American about to join the British royal family, Ms. Markle also passed another test for anyone marking their mark in public life this side of the Atlantic. She recognized the importance of football in our national life. Amdani Juma, the project coordinator for Champions for Change, said, "She said football is the #1 sport for bringing the human race together." He added, "She was very natural. They looked absolutely ecstatic. And, more importantly, she made a big impression on his colleague Mr. Arap Haight, a tourism student as well as the team captain and goalkeeper." He said, "Is that Prince Harry's wife?" I said, "Yes, his wife-to-be." He said, "They are amazing. She is very beautiful. Only the prince can have a lady like that." Red carpet veteran Ms. Markle also went it alone to chat with people lining both sides of the route, accepting everything from bars of chocolate to cards and bunches of flowers. At one point a young woman dropped a glove and Meghan noticed in the corner of her eye, picked it up and handed it back to her. Anne Maguire, who brought her nearly 3-year-old son Leo with her, said, "She grabbed my hand and said, 'I'm so glad you braved it to stand in the cold,' and said of Meghan, 'She's such a natural.'" Katie Shaw, 22, said the couple were very down-to-earth even though they're royal and said, "It's all about Suits. We really like Suits and she told us there are going to be 2 more series." The prince looked fit to burst with pride as he watched as his new fiancée worked the crowds like an old pro. He also saw the funny side today when he was asked what it was like to be ginger and engaged to a Hollywood star like Meghan Markle and admitted himself their romance was unbelievable and said, "It's great, isn't it?" With no private secretary yet, she had to hold the flowers in her handbag in the same hand but carried on greeting well-wishers. A little while later one of Harry's aides took the blooms from her. The model and actress, 36, also showed that she is already learning the royal rules when it comes to official visits, politely declining to pose for a selfie, telling one couple, "We're not allowed." Ms. Markle spent around 25 minutes meeting the crowds in Nottingham with Prince Harry, charming members of the public as she introduced herself with a cheery "Hi, I'm Meghan. I'm so happy," she said at one point. "It's just such a thrill to be here." Harry and Meghan arrived a few minutes ahead of schedule and, after greeting dignitaries, immediately ploughed off to speak to the waiting crowds. Although they stood for a second, wrapped around each other. Meghan showed no hint of nerves and after joining Harry for a while on one side of the street, confidently peeled off on her own. The prince and the actress immediately undertook a traditional royal walkabout, plunging into the crowds to shake hands. The prince and his fiancée appeared eager to meet the public with Harry at one point asking someone, "Can I shake your hand?" He then smiled when a well-wisher shouted, from 3 or 4 rows back behind a crash barrier, "How does it feel being a ginger with Meghan?" The former army officer replied with a grin, "It's great, isn't it?" When the man said the word unbelievable, Harry responded, "Unbelievable." The love they have for each other was clear to see in the way they continually touched each other, held hands and glanced into each other's eyes. They also were tactile with the crowd stopping to touch people on the arm and Ms. Markle even rubbed someone's wrist, as if to warm them up on the cold day, as she shook their hand. The couple spent long periods speaking to people who congratulated them on their engagement with the prince, handing out high fives to youngsters who came to see them. Ms. Markle was wrapped up against the cold in a long dark blue coat by maquillage, and boots. She was also without gloves, so her engagement ring was on display, and carried a handbag, something the Duchess of Cambridge rarely does.